June/July 2024, the Canadian government announced that they were going to be replacing the existing caregiver pilot program with the new enhanced caregiver pilot program. It was announced that the pilot was going to be released towards the end of last year, 2024, to the beginning of this year, 2025. However, up until now, no concrete information has been, announced about that particular pilot. Meanwhile, on the 24th of this month, January 2025, the IRCC announced the release of a new pilot program. We have all been waiting. I made a couple of videos in the past talking about the enhanced caregiver pilot program, which we are still waiting. With the look of things, it seems like that program might not be coming to life, okay? And they have introduced this new one, which is known as the Home Care Worker Immigration Pilot. Now, much information hasn't been released as usual, except the fact that it's going to be starting on the 31st of March 2025. Now, it is really close because this is already the end of January and we have literally a month in between now and March, so you have just 1 month to prepare. So if you are watching me right now and the caregiver pilot program is something you have been working towards applying through, then this is another pathway, this is another pilot that you should definitely direct your attention to. It is now called the Home Care Worker Pilot Program. Now, what are the requirements? One of the requirements is that you need to have a CL4 at least in your English language test, okay? Number 2 is you will need to possess a Canadian equivalent of the high school diploma, okay? So if you are in Africa or in Nigeria, then that is basically your wife result, your NECO. That is really all that's required. You will need to have relevant work experience. And the requirement for this in terms of work experience would be 6 months to 1 year work experience. So if you fall under any of this range, then definitely you qualify. And finally, you will need to have a full-time employment offer from a Canadian employer. Here's the beautiful thing about this pathway. You do not necessarily need to apply through an institution, okay? Even private homes, like people in Canada who are citizens or permanent residents, can actually employ someone from outside of Canada. Say they have a child or an elderly person who needs that home care, then they are eligible to actually employ someone from outside of Canada. Obviously, they will have to prove to the IRCC that they have sufficient finances in that home to actually sponsor another person to come into the country and work for them. So yeah, if you have family members in Canada who are permanent residents or citizens, and they have sufficient means to sponsor you as a caregiver for their child or elderly parent, then this is definitely a pathway you can go through, okay? All they need to do is provide you with all the necessary paperwork, a full-time letter of employment, and definitely you can use this pathway to migrate to Canada. As time goes on, I believe that more updates will be shared here. As a matter of fact, if you would like more information about this pathway, I would say click the link above, okay? I have made a video, this is my previous video where I talked about in detail the caregiver pilot program and then how it has been, changed to the enhanced caregiver pilot and now the home care worker immigration pilot. Of course, the requirements and most of the information you need to know about these pathways will be very similar, so you can feel free to click that video and watch it in detail to get more information about it. So for now, fingers crossed until March 31st, 2025, when this particular pilot program will be officially released. Like I always say, there are a lot of things you can do before these pathways are released, which is number 1, you need to write your English language test, okay? Make sure that you score at least a CL4. It's a very low score. In fact, for IELTS, I think the equivalent of a CL4 is even as low as even 3.5 or even 3. But I would say check the website to be sure. I'll leave a link to the description, okay? So you can go there to check those websites for the accurate, information. And yeah, I recommend highly that you watch that video because it was very detailed, okay? And you will get so much value in it. So guys, until we get more information about this pathway, of course, you trust that I'll always come back here to update you on the developments from the IRCC. Why don't you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of these updates, okay? And of course, feel free to click the notification bell icon as well, so you will be one of the very first people to get my videos whenever they drop. And until my next video, guys, stay kind and stay blessed. Bye.